Hello, hello. I'm Strider, your host here at Author in the Headlights, and thank you for joining us. Today, we have something really special because we have New Jersey's Queen of Street Lit, Wahida Clark, on with us today. Hello, Wahida.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
Great to
fine,
be
thank you.
here.
Queen of Street Lit, that's quite a title.
What street lit is the genre. Urban fiction, of course, is what I write as a Black woman. But the urban fiction, it's broken down into different genres. And it just so happened that the genre that I write about, the godfathers of the genre is like Donald Goins and Iceberg Slim. They both passed away. Then Sister Soldier came out with The Coldest Winter Ever. So that's street lit, where it talks about the streets, the hood, the projects, the crime, the drugs, what happens in the
Yeah.
hood. So it's called street literature. And it
And that's
just so
pretty
happened that,
hard-hitting stuff.
yes, it is.
That's right down and out right there in front. So it has created its own genre. I mean, and there's a genre for everyone, for goodness sakes. You can create something new, and you have fallen into that or worked into that, and you've got a pile of books, 15 or something like that.
I've written 28 as of
Oh
today.
my gosh, 28. And
I have three
not all of
different
them are in
series.
this, right? Because some of
Right,
them are nonfiction, how-tos in the writing industry.
correct. Only about four of mine that I've written are nonfiction. The rest are all fiction.
You're well known for that. I mean, you've been on the New York bestsellers list several times, as I understand,
Four times, that's right.
4 times. And you've got all kinds of things like that where you've been recognized as being one of the top in your market. And that's superior.
Thank you so much.
Now, you are also special because not only are you an author, but you have created a business.
Wahida Clark Presents Publishing.
There it is. And I should have that right on the tip of my head because I've run through this so many times.
Mhm.
And now you have multiple authors that publish under you or through you with you. There you go. And there are what kind of genres does your publishing company work
The
through?
publishing company, Wahida Clark Presents Publishing, I started that while in prison because I started writing while serving my 10.5 year federal prison sentence. And when my books started going all throughout the prisons, it inspired other inmates. So they started writing me, sending me letters saying, how did you do that? Can you publish me? First came the letters, then came the manuscripts, all to the prison. So much so that the warden called me down to the office and said, Miss Clark, you cannot run a business in our facility.
That's true.
I
It's just
said,
one of those
guys,
things. Yes.
that my address is in the back of the book because, of course, in your prison, you want to receive some mail. So I put my mailing address in the back of the book, and that just opened up the floodgates. So I published other authors in my genre. And recently, maybe like the last 3 years, celebrities started taking notice and coming to me. So now I publish celebrities, Grammy Award producers. So I have different genres that I publish as well. I published the street lit. I published the business book. I have Tiffany Anderson. She's a hair trichologist. I published producers, rappers, um, whoever, reality TV stars.
Well, that's a win to me. That shows success. That shows we all come from somewhere and do something. Um, but it's how we keep progressing forward and working and building and growing that that makes us what we are.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm proud to say I now know you. And
Thank you.
for those author in the headlights is for readers and writers. And so right here, I'll just say that your information will be in our authors resources section at German Publishing so that authors can say, I would like to connect. That's something I would like to do. They can find you there and get right to you. That'll be something
Amazing.
we offer you because I really support what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
So tell me some more about your books. You've got a pile of them. thugs and the woman who loved them. Every thug needs a lady. It's definitely titled to fit your genre. And
Mhm.
that's because that's the story they are. And so obviously we write what we know, we write what we live and feel and understand. And you've been very successful in that. All I have to do is look at the reviews on it, and you've got piles of them. So you are very successful in that. And you're continuing that to help other authors also.
Absolutely. My latest book is well, you can't see it because I have
Yep,
it blacked out.
it's got the fog out. Yep.
It's Lucky 7, part 7 to my Thug series. I have 3 series. I have the Thug series, the Payback series, and I have the Golden Hustler series. The Golden Hustler is is fiction based off of my life story of how I went to prison. I was working for an advertising firm. I end up excelling to the top, the only female in my department, the head salesperson, but I did not know when I got the job, they were on the radar of the authorities. So after about a year or two in the job, one day I'm at work and now I'm the number one salesperson. I hear this bang, bang, bang. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're fighting out there. What does this place come to? But it was the FBI, everybody banging on the doors, coming in to raid the office. And I'm still on the phone with one of my clients. And I'm like, oh my God. Next thing you know, my door comes busting open and they said, get on the floor, get on the floor. And I keep hearing them say, do you have the girl? Do you have the girl? I'm like, what girl are they talking about? They were talking about me because I was the top salesperson. So that book is called The Golden Hustler. So I based that loosely off of my story, and that's one of my series.
And thank you for explaining these things to us, because not only do we like the story behind the story, but it also, we do get caught in things sometimes, but you've grown out of that and from it. And now your writing itself, was it something you wanted to do? I always wondered, have you been a writer, or is that just something you developed?
Not at all. I didn't know I could write. I had no intention on writing. But once I was incarcerated and I took the case to trial because of course, they arrested everybody. We took it to trial. About 6 of us took it to trial. My bosses and the people that in my department had a long, drawn out 6-month trial, flying back and forth from Georgia to Arizona. The jury found all of us guilty. So once I got in the prison, and after about a year, it sunk in that I'm not going anywhere. Wahida, you're going to have to buckle down and do this time. So when that reality hit me, I called home. I said, okay. To my niece, I said, send me, I had 2 teenagers daughters home. I said, Keisha, send me some money because I'm in this prison. They had just moved me from Arizona to where I was going to start doing my time, to a federal prison camp in Lexington, Kentucky. I called home. I said, okay, you guys got to send me some money. It costs money to use the washer and the dryer. You have to buy my own soap powder, my own, it costs money to live in prison. So she said, we'll see what we can do. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, we do. I left businesses out there. They said, Wahida, you're not out here no more. As a matter of fact, your house has been foreclosed on. No one is out here to run your businesses. They're all shut down. We are taking your 2 daughters. We are moving back to New Jersey. So that was the reality call. Got off that call, went into my room, cried, prayed. And my job at the time, everyone in prison, federal prison, they have to work. My job, I taught computer classes at night, and I was the law librarian during the day. But during the day, the girls was at work. So I would be in there by myself. And so right after I had that call and I cried and I prayed, said, Lord, what am I going to do? I need money. My husband, he was incarcerated. I left 2 teenage daughters out in the world. And I'm like, I need money, not only to survive in here, to help take care of my daughters and to have a cushion for when I came home. I made that prayer. Very shortly after that prayer, I'm sitting in the law library. I'm sitting at the desk. I pick up like 8 o'clock in the morning. I pick up a magazine. And in this magazine, there was a sidebar article of a young man named Shannon Holmes. It said that he was in prison and he had written a book called Be More Careful. And I'm like, wow, this dude was in prison and he wrote a book. And mind you, I'm sitting there in the library. So I'm looking at all the books on the bookshelves around me. I'm surrounded by books. So I said, he's in prison, he wrote a book. So then I start visualizing my name on the spines of the books, Wahida Clark, Wahida Clark. And that was my epiphany. I said, I'm going to write a book to show you how the universe works. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know anything about writing a book. Shortly after I said that, there was a lady in the prison in the streets. Her profession was a literary agent. So she had asked the warden, could she give a course on creative writing and how to get published? And she got approved. And when I saw the sign up sheet on the wall, I signed up for it, took her class, graduated, got my certificate. During the class, I am writing. I just started writing. Didn't know I could write. I just was going to town. So I did everything. I got published right there in the federal prison camp.
That's quite a story, honestly. And the fact that you took that and you went ahead and did it. To authors that want to be, that think, oh, I could do that, or that never even thought about it before, it can work that way. You can simply pick up your pen and just start writing. Okay, whether or
With
not it's
no
a pen
training. You
keyboard
are
with no
absolutely
training.
correct.
Yes. Now, were you a reader much before, or is this
I was a
just
reader, correct. I remember during my childhood, I used to live in the library, especially in the summertime, just go in the library, just lay on the floor and just read, 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 and just let my imagination take me away. I've
here,
always been a
here,
reader, but
here,
never
here? I
a
agree.
writer.
Totally. That's exactly the same way. Now, you had a really tough time, but you've worked past it. You've developed a business to support others doing it. You've written books on how to go about it. So if you were to, and I'm sure you do give actually that information to others, somebody comes and says, I don't know what to do. How do I go about it? How do you start? Just sit down and start writing? How do you choose those things to work from?
I get those emails all the times, DMs or my social media emails. I want to start writing. I don't know what to do. So much so that I had to create a guide for that, a training, a business to coach people on how to do it. So if they want to write a memoir, they go to wahidathecoach.com. If they want a book to expand their business brand, they go to pages to stages.live. If they want fiction, that's W. Clark Publishing. So and I just tell everyone, you have to tell me, what are you trying to write first?
That's excellent. As a writer myself, I just picked up and started writing, but to have
Mm-hmm.
those directives on how to, gosh, I wish I had known.
Yep.
Oh, God, you have done so well and so much, and I really appreciate that support. In fact, it's not just your writing, you're the president of Prodigal Sons and Daughters, a 501. It's focused on mental behavior and
And
health.
substance
And
abuse, prisoner reentry,
so it's not
homelessness.
just the writing. You
Ugh,
do so much.
I do. I like, I don't even know how to keep up with myself. So that's why when I was like, oh my gosh, look at my calendar. So, and I appreciate your patience with me because you've been trying to get with me for how long?
It's been a little while. Yep, I appreciate your time here today. And regardless of our calendars, we got it put together and you're
Hmm.
here now. Now you've got such a list of have dones. You've done and you've done and you've done. So do you have something next on your schedule other than talks with me?
Yes, wow. Big shout out to Elena for introducing us.
Yes, and that's
Um,
your editress.
she's been working with my publishing company for years. And she, even before I started my own publishing company at Kensington, I think that's where I first met her because while in prison, I landed two publishing deals. I had Kensington and I had Hachette. So I had two publishing deals and a literary agent behind the wall. So when I came home, I had 7 books, 2 major contracts, a literary agent, and then walked into another contract at Simon and Schuster with Cash Money Records, who wanted to get into the publishing business for the street lit genre. So yeah, lots of history there.
What an
However,
accomplishment, just to be able
isn't that
to do
crazy?
that. That is amazing. And
But the newest venture, and also one of my dreams, to be the content hub, the queen of distribution. So in prison, it's hard to get books in prison. Not all the prisons. Some of them, they reject them because of what the cover looks like. Some of them get rejected because of the content.
sure.
It's just always something with the books. You can't have hardback. You can only have 6. You can only have 2. But my partner of 21st Street Publishing, Nicole Simmons, she, Wahida, she said, I got something for you. I got a deal with a tablet provider. I need you to be my exclusive distributor of content in the US. So we just launched that, info.wcpdistribution.com. We are able to get our content on tablets that are distributed throughout prisons and jails throughout the country, starting with books, then music, then film. And that is a new relationship that just was developed in December of last year. I believe that we're going to go live on March 1st.
Well,
That's a big
congratulations
feat right
so
there.
much. That is huge. That is
So
huge.
especially for the independent authors who have books just sitting there, collecting dust, not moving, sign up at info.wcp distribution and get them into the prisons.
There you
A
go.
captive audience, pun intended.
Thank you. And thank you for putting yourself out there. I just appreciate your time. You're a busy woman. You've got so much on the burner, and your books, and of course your business will be on
Thank
DurhamPublishing.com
you.
authors resources page and the bookstore.
Appreciate
And
it.
we are running out of time. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But then again, you got things to do. You got to get off here and get back to work, girl.
Oh, don't even mention it. I really appreciate you having me, and much success to you. And
Thank you so much.
call me anytime.
All right. And we may just do that too. And so for today, I want to say thank you so much to Wahida Clark and her business. And you can check them out at durhampublishing.com, durhampublishing.com, at the author's resource page and the bookstore. And until next time, Wahida, thank you so much for being
You
with
are
us.
quite welcome. And if you have any books under your publishing company that you would like to get on the prison front, just hit me back, okay?
All righty. You got that.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You bet. And so
Bye-bye.
thank you for listening to us today, the rest of you. And until next time, I'm Strider, your host here at Author in the Headlights, sponsored by DurhamandPublishing.com. And we'll see you again next time. Sponsored by Durham